U.S. port workers are returning to their jobs today after reaching a temporary labor deal to end that strike. Frank Holland joins us right now from Bayonne, New Jersey. And Frank, what's it look like there today?
Hey, good morning to you, Becky. Well, yeah, the sun's just coming up. You can see behind me, the cranes aren't moving, but they are expected to get moving later on today. Things are expected to get back to normal. So from now until January 15th, ports from Maine to Texas, including the port of New York and New Jersey that's right here behind me, are going to be back up and running as the first East and Gulf Coast port strike in just about 50 years. That's come to the end on a tentative agreement, again, until January the 15th. The ILA union and port operators, USMX, they've agreed on wages with a 61.5% increase over a 6-year contract. They're going to continue to negotiate other issues, including, and maybe most importantly, the use of automation and semi-automation at ports. Right there, you see me talking to Union President Harold Daggett. That's when he first told us about the union's demand of 61.5%. The union has been highly vocal about their opposition to automation because of the potential impact to jobs. We're hearing from President Biden. He issued a statement on this tentative deal. He said in part, I want to thank the union workers, the carriers, and the port operators for acting patriotically to reopen our ports and ensure the availability of critical supplies for Hurricane Helene recovery and rebuilding. The president mentioned a number of times that having a strike at the ports and the hurricane at the same time was very bad for the economy. It put a strain on the supply chain. He goes on to say it is critical to building a stronger economy, talking about this tentative deal. The president also repeatedly said he would not invoke the Taft-Hartley Act to get the union and the port operators back to the negotiating table and keep the ports open. However, we now know from sources that are very familiar with this tentative agreement that the White House played actually a key role in getting this agreement done and getting these two parties back to the table. So here's what sources are telling CNBC. At about 5:30 Thursday morning, just yesterday, White House Chief of Staff Jeff Zients, Acting Labor Secretary Julie Su, Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg, and the Director of the National Economic Council, Lael Brainerd, they met with USMX over Zoom to really emphasize the need to reopen these ports, especially after Hurricane Helene. Again, something the president just mentioned in his statement. We're told those officials together, they pressured USMX to make an offer before the end of Thursday, and they promised to get the ILO union back to the table. This group of White House officials met 5 times over the day yesterday, according to sources, to finalize a strategy that would eventually lead to this tentative deal that we're told was reached in the late afternoon, early evening on Thursday. The question now is what, if any, economic impact this 3-day strike will have. Most estimates say that for every day of the strike, we should expect a week of congestion and backlog at these ports. Estimates vary on the daily impact of the strike economically, ranging from $500 million to about $4 billion a day. There's also a question about the impact on holiday prices and inflation. I emailed with the chief economist of Ernst & Young. He sent me a statement saying he doesn't expect any inflation due to this strike or any economic impact. He said it was just too short. If it would have been longer, you would have seen some of that. Right now in the markets, though, we are seeing some big downside moves in shipping stocks like Maersk and Hapag-Lloyd. The strike was expected to give them some big pricing power. This resolution until after the holiday season certainly changes that narrative. We are seeing some upside moves in some other transportation stocks like FedEx, also J.P. Hunt, the biggest container shipper here in the U.S. Becky, back over to you.
Hey, Frank, is there a feeling that these issues are going to be resolved in January, or that this is going to be a pretty difficult conversation, particularly around automation, and that we're just putting things off for a few months at this point?
You know, I've reached out and spoken to the two sides, but they didn't get into the weeds about the negotiations. But automation certainly is a very contentious issue. So right now, globally, just to give you some context, about 4 to 5% of container shipping facilities are automated or semi-automated, but that range of automation really varies. There's also some conflicting studies when it comes to what automation means for jobs. So put this in context. The West Coast port workers, they commissioned a study a few years ago, and they found over a course of 2 years, automation cost their union to lose just about 5% of jobs. At the same time, around the same time period, the Pacific Maritime Association, they represent the port operators on the West Coast. They commissioned a study, and they found that automation didn't lead to the loss of any jobs. Globally, we're seeing some kind of different conflicting ideas. When you look at some of these international ports, the union, they work with the port operators to try to ensure jobs and also create more skilled workers. So a lot of different questions about exactly what automation means for port jobs, for employees, for union jobs, and things like that. But again, a very contentious issue when it comes to these negotiations.